Hi everyone, welcome back to Stamp with Anna, and today I'm going to show you another card that we made at card class this weekend. And again, we will be using the brand new stitched rectangle framelits. These just came out in the Occasions catalog, and they are by far my favorite product. You get 13 of all these different kinds of rectangles. You get these regular rectangles, and then you get these long narrow ones and also the short and stubby one, and you can do so much with them, not just use them for mat or things like that. A couple days ago I showed you how I made a frame with one, and today I'm going to show you how I used it to make a window on this birthday card. I'm going to be making this birthday card, and we're going to use the Framelit as a window. So let me pull out the right size framelit that we used here. I believe it was this one. Okay. And again, this is a very easy card. For supplies, I have my card base. This one here was crumb cake, but I'm using a different, making it more masculine this time. This is basic gray, and it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I have a piece of Whisper White, which is going to go on the inside. That's cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have a piece of designer series paper, and this is retired, but I like it, and I'm going to use it. And it came from the Bubbles. I think it was last occasion, so I really liked it because I think it's a good for masculine. And then I just have some scraps of Bermuda Bay, Calypso Coral, and Whisper White. So the first thing I need to do, I'll move my white piece. I need to cut out this frame here, and I need to cut it on two pieces, and I want to be sure that I get it precisely. There are two different ways you can do it. You can cut it out on this one layer, cut it out on this one layer, then tape this down and line this up and cut it again, or you can run it through with both pieces of the cardstock and the designer series paper together. Now when you do that, when you go to adhere this and you put your snail along the edges, you're right here, you're not going to have any snail right here, and that's fine. It holds it together. So what you can do is just put an extra piece of snail on the back, so towards that side. So let me just show you what I mean. Now I know that my frame is going to be right about here, so I'm going to put in another piece of snail, and I'm going to line that up. Let me stand up so I get that nice and straight. Now I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. And I'm going to use the magnetic plate because I do want my Framelit to stay nice and secure. So I'm going to put my cardstock there, and I'm going to line this up where I want it. I want it right about there. Okay. Put my top plate down. I want to make sure that's nice and straight. Now I'm cutting through two pieces of paper, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through once, and I'm going to come back, and again. Now before I take my Framelit off, what I'm going to do is just turn this over, and if I can see that I have a nice cut that's gone through, I know it's been a success. So I'm going to put my Big Shot back, and I'm going to peel this off. Now again, I'm going to save these two pieces. Oh, they're attached together. But anyway, there's a nice mat that I have that I'm going to use for a different project. So now okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is work on my inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place my Whisper White right here. I'm going to just hold on to it. And with a pencil, I'm going to close it. The pencil, I'm just going to lightly mark where my tops and my bottoms are. That's so that I know where to stamp my streamers. Now I have my pierce mat and a piece of scrap paper, and the reason I want the scrap paper excuse me, is because my streamers are going to come off my white, and I don't want it to hit the back of my cardstock. So I'm going to use from the stamp set Balloon Celebrations. I'm using that streamer right there. I'm going to ink this up in gray granite, and because it's such a delicate, small, thin, narrow stamp, when I stamp, I just want to make sure I don't have any ink on my block that might transfer onto my paper. Okay, so there's one. I'm going to check again, and I'm going to make a cross. I do want a little crisscross there. Check my stamp again, and cross again. All right, and that's the inside of my card. Now, we'll attach that. Okay, so I'm going to put some snail on this. And I'm going to put it inside the middle of my card. Line this up so it's nice and even. And now I'm going to come back with my eraser and just erase my guidelines here. Now when I close this over, I'm going to see that's where my balloons are going to be. To make my balloons, I'm going to use my balloon punch. And I'm going to use the small balloon. And I want 2 out of Calypso Coral. And again, I'm just using scrap papers that I have in my scrap bucket. And I'm going to make 1 out of Bermuda Bay. Okay, and there we go. So now I do want to just place these. All right, now with a white gel pen, just to add a little bit of dimension, I'm going to make a little mark along the outsides of my balloons. And now I'm going to attach them. The 2 Calypso Coral ones, I'm going to attach with snail because I want them flat. Card won't stay down. All right. I'm going to close the card as I do it so that I know that I'm going to put them in the right position. And because my string is so long, I can just attach this anywhere I want it to be. Okay, and this one here, I'm just going to use a pop dot for. Nope. And again, as long as I can line it up with this, I can move my balloon in any direction that I want. And I'm going to have it go this way. There we go. Now I made myself a little knot here with some old baker's twine that I have. And with my pierce tool, I'm going to take a glue dot. I'm going to roll the glue dot so it's nice and thin. And I'm going to put that right there. And put my dot. Now the last thing I have to do is make my happy birthday banner. So I have a scrap piece of Whisper White, and I have the happy birthday from the Happy Birthday Gorgeous, and I'm going to stamp that in Calypso Coral. And again, I'm using my pierce mat because it is photopolymer. And I want that to be a little darker. Okay, here is happy. And the reason I didn't use the back part of the other stamped one is because some of this is going to show on the back part. So now I'm going to bring up my Big Shot again, and I'm going to show you how to customize the size of your framelit. So now I'm going to use this very thin rectangle, and I'm going to line that up right there, and I'm going to run it through. Just straighten that up a little bit. So now you notice that this is much too long for that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold on to this and put this over it, and you can feel it lock. These grooves will fall into the grooves, the stitching that's on my banner, and when I feel I have it where I want it, I'm just going to lay it down and run that through. And when I take this off, I have a perfectly cut and framed banner that is smaller than my framelit. So there's a nice trick on how you can get more out of your framelits. So now the last thing I have to do with this is just I'm going to put a little glue dot on the back. I'm actually going to put two. And I'm going to just put that right over there. You know what? I think I want my balloons higher. I'm just going to put this right here. Make sure my two glue dots are off to the side. I'm going to bring it up a little higher so I can see my whole bow. And there we go. A sweet little birthday card. And you see, just by changing out the colors, it has a different look. This would be perfect for a man. This could probably be for a man too, but I think it's more feminine. And there you go. When you open it up, you can just write your message there. And there it is. How sweet. If you have any questions about this project or any of the products that I used, please contact me through my blog, www.stampwithanna.blogspot.com. Thanks so much. I'll catch you back here later.